The term multiple personality disorder, or known as MPD, has been largely replaced by dissociative identity disorder, or DID. As the former name implies, MPD and DID is a mental condition in which two or more personalities appear to inhabit a single body. A simple definition of DID is: disassociation is an act of disconnecting, locking the memory or pain in a suitcase and storing the suitcase in the back of the brain. Dissociation identity disorder is the phenomena of completely disconnecting oneself from a memory or memories and the emotions around the memories, creating a separate identity to hold memories and emotions. Since the 1930s, therapists who believe in the reality of MPD generally believe it to be caused by very severe abuse during childhood, violence so extreme that the child cannot absorb the trauma in its entirety. The child disassociates and creates an alternative personality, also known as personality state, alter, part, state of consciousness, ego state, fragment, or identity, to handle the abuse. If the abuse continues, additional alters are created as needed. Trying to escape overwhelming fear and pain by imagining you are somewhere else or someone else seems to lay the groundwork for separating off some parts of your identity. Disassociation itself is a common experience. Most people have observed mild dissociative episodes in which they lose touch with their surroundings. Examples include daydreaming, highway hypnosis, or losing oneself in a movie or book. MPD is viewed by some as an extreme level of disassociation, which may result in serious impairment or inability to function. According to therapists who specialize in MPD, the host, the victim survivor's basic personality, is not necessarily aware of the existence of these alters. The abuse memories contained within the alters are not typically accessible to the dominant personality. Various triggers can cause one of the alters to emerge and take control of the mental processes of the victim for periods of time. This is called switching. Control then passes back to the dominant personality or to another alter. This may be sensed by one alter or by the host, as if there are entire blocks of missing time. She or he may detect MPD as a result of the sudden appearance of new possessions that they cannot recall having purchased, withdrawals from the bank account signed for in a strange handwriting, friends and family referring to past events of which they are not aware. Some alters create new alters as needed. Others perform a system regulatory function. They determine which alter will be in charge at a given time. A new term, dissociative identity disorder, or DID, was created in 1994 to replace MPD. One of the reasons was that MPD was being thrown into disrepute by many people giving phony demonstrations of alter switching during television talk shows. MPD specialists generally believe that people with DID or MPD may experience any of the following: depression, mood swings, suicidal tendencies, sleep disorders such as insomnia, night terrors, and sleepwalking, panic attacks and phobias, maybe flashbacks, reactions to stimuli or triggers, alcohol and drug abuse, compulsions and rituals, psychotic-like symptoms including auditory and visual hallucinations, and eating disorders, headaches, amnesia, time loss, trances, and out-of-body experiences. Some people with DID or MPD-DD have a tendency towards self-persecution. self-sabotage, and even violence, which may be both self-inflicted and outwardly directed. They believe that the appropriate therapy involves the recovery of childhood abuse memories through recovered memory therapy, reintegration of the alters into the dominant personality.